My name's Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher. My pronouns are she, her. It is Thursday the 28th of December and we're going to do a 2023 WIP parade. Thank you for joining me. I know that there's a ton of parades to watch this time of year, so I appreciate you coming and seeing mine. I'm not in my usual spot, so apologies for lighting, sound issues. I'm at my dining room table with bags piled around me. I've got my notepad to make notes as we go along. My other laptop with my Notion open. We're going to see how it goes. I did kind of a 2024 plans video a couple of weeks back. Those plans have probably already changed. So we're going to kind of make some new plans as we go along. Some stitch it or ditch it decisions, and maybe focuses. But I'm just going to kind of figure it out as I go along, and you're welcome to come on this journey with me and figure it out. I do have my Notion, but I've also got my trusty little magnet board. You probably can't read it very well on the screen, but this is how I keep a visual reminder of all my WIPs, because I have trouble with object permanence. So this is where I turn, each little magnet is a WIP, and I turn it over when I've worked on it. So when I'm looking for something to do, I look at this board and I see what's not been turned over yet. And then once they've all turned over, I turn them all back, and then I can start the journey again. It just makes it so nothing really gets languished too long. If you've watched my Flosstube videos, I was kind of doing Stitch Finale 23, where I touched all of the ones that hadn't been turned over yet. So everything's been touched relatively recently, and ergo I have some thoughts about those. So we'll look at it together. But I'm gonna start with like my oldest start and move towards the newest. So without further ado, my oldest WIP is Moe Imperial. This is, let's see. Yeah, so this is Moe Imperial by Scarlet Quince. It is a WIP full coverage that I started July 13th, 2019. She has a sister pattern that I will talk about next, that I started like the week after I started this one. But I will put pictures of what they're going to look like in the end. But yeah, this will be 87,897 stitches when it's finished. It's on 18 count white Aida. It's 2/1 because there are a lot of blends in Scarlet Quince if you haven't used them before. And it's currently sat at 15.8% complete. So hoping to get a little bit more done. This is the end of the page. Just some confetti to fill in. I say just, that's quite a lot of stitches. But hoping to get this one and its sister, the first 2 pages, finished, and then carry on with the kind of full force. I haven't got much in the way of Notion here because obviously I wasn't using Notion back in 2019. But the most stitches that I did in one day was 691 on this. So that was quite a lot of fill-in. I used the Scarlet Quince app that's kind of like Pattern Keeper, but just for Scarlet Quince designs, and that helps a lot with this one. Yeah, I love that we can see her face now. She's very beautiful. And when I finish this, hopefully they'll hang right back here. I've got some pictures up here, but I've got more wall space that side, more wall space that side, and it's very empty. And two sister patterns can sit quite nicely together. Yeah, so that was my first WIP. It lives in this bag with matching grime guard by Tracy, who doesn't make bags anymore, but I treasure all of mine, and I bobbinate all of most of my full coverages are bobbinated. So yeah, my second WIP, when we can load. This is Moe White Star. So very similar pattern, and this was started July 21st, so just a week after the last one. 84,616 stitches. The stitch counts aren't exactly the same. All of this white is just left blank, like not stitched. So I don't know if it technically, of some people, counts as a full coverage. I haven't worked out the ratio of stitches to non-stitches. But to me it's a full coverage. So this one's at 15%. I'm looking at the starting point when I put it in Notion. So it's at 15%, so just about a percent behind Imperial, and I've only stitched on it 2 days since Notion. 642 was the most that I put in it in one day. So you can see how it's basically the same pattern as the other one, where I am. This curve comes down and I just need to fill in the rest to do the rest of the page. And then I'll move the Q-snap. I'll probably take them off the Q-snap because they've just lived on this Q-snap for a while. The fabric could probably do with a wash, so I'll probably wash them both and sort out their bobbin trays. And yeah, so this lives in this green bird project bag, again by Tracy. So I forgot to say, the two Moe ones, my plan for 2024 is just to finish that page. So I'm not going to stretch myself too far. I don't want to make goals that I can't achieve. But if I just have something written down that I can work towards, we'll see. And then maybe if I remember next year, to check and see if I actually did all this stuff that I'm talking about. So next on the starts, we go to 2020. So this was a new year, new start, January 1st, 2020. So this is coming up 4 years old. Yeah, wow. That's really, this should not be still here after 4 years. This is my Christmas Village Mill Hill big wall hanging. Just leave it here for a little bit so you can see. So the plan is with this to have 3 more at the bottom there and then make it into some kind of wall hanging. I've done the stitching, I've done the stitching on 9. I've done the beading on 2, but I'm leaving the beading of the rest till another time. this shouldn't be 4 years old, really. So I need to put in another 3. It's not even houses at the bottom. I need to do skating pond, which is already in here, ready to go. And then something else and something else. And then I have another 2 massive pieces of fabric upstairs to do more. And so now I'm not regretting my choices, but maybe I should rethink how realistic that is. So I need 3 more kits on there. They don't take too long. This is 28 count dirty linen by Spygart. This is 2/2. It's just a Mill Hill kit, and I'm not even doing the beads. So I could finish the stitching of 3 more scenes by the end of the year, and then we can go back and bead in 2025. That's like a lot, but they're so nice. Like, this lighting is terrible. They are so pretty, and once I don't know whether I could do it or somebody else could do it for me, but like, have some binding around the top, around the whole bit, and then I'll have a hanger of some kind. It'll be really sweet to hang up at Christmas. But yeah, I don't know why it's taken me so long. Probably just because I've got a lot of WIPs for me. So yeah, let's just fold that up. That's like a whole yard of fabric. Also, you don't need a whole yard of fabric to do that. I was just being extra cautious. This one just lives in one of these folders I got, because at one point I had more projects than project bags, so I needed something cheap, but not, like, I'm happy with them because I got a front pocket as well, and I like that. I don't have a progress total on that because they're all the little paper patterns, but it's, what, 9 out of 12. It's less than 50% because I still need to go back and bead everything. So actually there's a lot of work to do on it. But never mind. So my goal for that one is to stitch 3 scenes. No beads. If I do beads, then that's great. But that's the goal. My next start WIP was April 3rd, 2020. So I started this just before Anna was born. Like 2 weeks before she was born. And obviously very, very start of COVID. So I wasn't doing anything else. So why not start it? This is the right way up? Yeah. This is Amazing Lavender Garden Kaleidoscope. I can't remember the whole name of it. This is my chatelaine. It's my beautiful chatelaine. The picture is terrible. And this lighting is terrible to show it. But I absolutely love it. So this is halfway. And this just fits on a 17 by 17 Q-snap, which is very satisfying. Which is why it just sits on its Q-snap. And it's just in a pillowcase. Because why buy a massive project bag when I'm probably not going to do a project this big again and keep it on a 17 by 17? Anyway, Let's have a look. This is on 32 count pearl grey linen by Zweigart. Oh, and everything has been called for DMC, basically, so far. I don't have a progress total on this because I just printed out the PDF really big so I could see. I think, let's have a look. The rest of it sits in one of these project bags as well, so I can just keep it nice in the pillowcase without getting smushed with other things. So don't look, but I think that's where I am now. So maybe if I could finish that page, it's not a lot, but if this one takes me 10 years, then that's fine. It's a chatelaine. I'm doing all the stitching first, including specialty stitches and metallics and all that, but I'm going to bead right at the very end because I can just keep it on the Q-snap. I don't have to move it around. And I think it'll be one of those things where it's like back stitching when you leave all the back stitching to the end and then it just pops like it's a chatelaine, like all of the beads like make it shine. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, let's have a goal of just finish page 9. Is that finish page 9? And if I carry on a bit, that's fine. But at least I have a goal. This is all of the. This is just the spare. Like petite treasure braid and silk lame. It's just such a treat to get this out and play with all this beautiful floss, and it's all the called for. Okay, next start was June 24th, 2020, and this is my Moon and Stars piece from a seller on Etsy that's no longer there, and I question the validity of it. Anyway, this is one piece of it. So this is a set of 4 panels designed by Alphonse Mucha, who also designed Moe Imperial and Moe White Star. I love the artwork. So I'm doing all these 4 pieces on this one piece of fabric. This is a vintage grey Lugana 25 count 1/1. So the whole 4 panels are 283,900 stitches. So I'm currently at 5.1% with this. So I was gonna say like get to 10%, but that would be like doing this all over again. So that would be a lot. I really, really love working on this. It's a real pleasure. So it wouldn't be an issue. It's just, it takes a lot of time. Let's have a look. Most stitches in a day, 552. So yeah, it's not a big deal. She says, trying to play it down. It's massive. I don't know why I do these things to myself. I was thinking about all of my 2023 finishes and how like so many of them were tiny or like relatively small. This is why big things don't get finished. They take time. It's okay. I really would like to get a chunk done. So if I say 10%, that's a stretch goal. And we'll just see how far we get. So again, this is I bobbinate my colours. I did reduce this because there's so many colours in this. It is a good pattern. And it's compatible in Pattern Keeper, which is a lifesaver. So when I get to a 0 colour, I take it out. So I've reduced my big bobbin container down to a little one. And this is in this another bag by Tracy. I think this was the first bag that I got from her, which made me fall in love with her. And a matching grime guard, of course, and it just sits on its Q-snap while it's waiting to be worked on. So 10% stretch goal for that. What's next? So we don't have any WIPs left over from 2021, so we go straight into 2022 and we go right to June. So I don't have anything for a whole 2 years left over. So this is where we get into more smaller projects. There's still going to be some BAPs, but we're sticking with the smaller projects. So yeah, we're going to June 10th, 2022 with Singer Sampler by Silver Creek Samplers. This is my very, very cursed project. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that there's been some rather not large counting errors, but counting errors and an almost mental breakdown. So yeah, I have completely converted the colours on this to brighten them up and have the rainbow kind of effect. I'd seen it on Jan Hicks's blog, who got it from someone else, but there's a lot of changes that have been done, more needed to be done. Yeah, I had a counting error, so it's just a difficult project to work on. As much as I love it, as I'm not giving it up, it takes a lot of effort. It's not just sit down and stitch. So I have a lot of notes with this, and I'm gonna have a look and see where I'm kind of up to. So yeah, so the doe, for example, I have stitched the things in the chart. I need to make decisions on what the words are going to be in. Whether it's going to be in a deeper red or a lighter red, or maybe like do it in the orange and do the Ray words in the yellow and do the me words in the green, and so on and so forth. Kind of move everything up one. I don't know. I can't make a decision. So while I make that decision, I've like moved on to the next one to do the things in that one. So it'll be the sun and the sky and the clouds, but because this is where I did my counting error, I have to make sure that there's enough room for the words when I decide what colour I'm going to do the words in. So I don't think I can decide on the words until all the stuff is done around them, and then I can make decisions. So maybe if my goal is to finish the stuff in the rest of it, all of the stuff has been converted. There is people have like recharted this runner into Maria from the film, in her little nun dress. So I'll do that. I don't think I'll put my name in. I'll just fill this in with grass. I don't know. So that's not a lot of stitching just to do the stuff. So maybe if I say finish the stuff in the whole thing. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to do. That would be, I could do that. Could I? Let's try it. Sing a sampler. Finish stuff in boxes, not words. Because it really, when I look at it to, you know, it's one of my things to pull out and stitch, I go, oh, but there's so many decisions to be made about it. The decisions are already there about the stuff inside the boxes. So if I just get that done, then I can make decisions. And I'll probably take this to Canada in April and get people to help me to make a decision. Because hive mind and all that. So yeah, that is, oh sorry, that was on 40 count Cafe au lait linen. And yeah, it's just a complete conversion. If you'd like the conversion, just let me know. Leave me a comment or send me a DM on Instagram. I don't have any progress because it's on paper patterns. So yeah, and it lives in one of those pink folders. Next was a couple of days later, I started Gather Here. Hello from Liz Matthews. Where are you? Here it is. This was one I started because I had a piece of fabric and I found this fit on this fabric. So this is a piece of banding that I got, I think, off a D-stash. It was like part of a lot that I wasn't even bothered about this. It was something else that I wanted, but it is actually quite pretty. So the plan is to stitch that and then maybe finish it with a hoop or something so I can hang it near the door. Gather Here with Grateful Hearts. And I love this. So it works out to be, oh, I do have the stitch count. So it's 5,509 stitches. I counted it. It works out to about a 25 count, and I'm doing 1/1. And I'm using 2 classic Colourworks, Bejeweled and Deep Fennel, which are just my colours. So I'm actually 49%. So I'm halfway through. So maybe we aim for a percentage on this. 75%? It's not a lot of stitching. 75% would be like 1,400 stitches. I think I could do that. 1,500 stitches? I think I could do that. Okay. to 75%. Okay. And this just lives in one of these bags because it's just really, really small. Next start was not too long after, July 3rd, 2022. And I don't have progress for this because it's kind of 4 pieces together that I'm just doing. So this is the one that I'm currently working on, Miss Lynette Linen from the Primitive Hair. Again, I converted all of this because the colours were just a bit too drab for me, but I kind of kept with the theme of, you see its sister there, it uses the same colours in the dress, just kind of switched. So I will be doing that with the silk that I'm yet to do, and I have finished cotton and wool. So this is where I'm at. Again, these are like tiny little pieces. I don't know why these aren't done. So this is a 32 count linen that I tea dyed and then coffee splattered to get that kind of, I think it's Old Salem is her fabric that she uses. But I love the stripes that's coming out in that. I can't remember what colour this is officially. Antique Rose Antique Rose by Gentle Art and Just Rust by Colour and Cotton. No, Classic Colourworks. So yeah, that's the 3rd piece, and then I have a piece of linen for the last one. So could I finish both of them? I should be able to. Because the other thing is I haven't stitched like the words on the top of any of them, because I need to, again, wait until it's all stitched to figure out what colour to do the words in. This is becoming a theme. So I need them all to finish to then finish them all. And then find some kind of finishing. I do like this like board that she's finished them on, and I would like 4 the same. And my husband said he would have a go at chopping up some wood to do that for me. So what do we think? Finish linen and silk by the end of the year? And the words? I'm going to go for a finish. I haven't got like a proper finish. Finish all. Okay, that's the plan. We'll see if it works. It's a good one to travel with, so I can take it to Canada, because it's just 32 count 2/2 and lots of fill-in stitches. My next start was September 2022, and this was, I started this with Amy Pearls and Ponderings. We did like a year of starts or something, or we attempted to. I think we abandoned it fairly quickly. But we were going to start a load of things together. So this is Sleeping Bee by the Blue Flower. And my issue with this one is obviously my margins. Don't know what happened. I think what happened is I cut a piece of this. This is 40 count Cafe au Lait. It's the same as what I am doing Singer Sampler on. I think I cut a piece off, and then this was the off cut, and I put the piece that I should have used away instead of. But it just fits. Just have to be careful. And it's going to be a hoop finish anyway. I think I'll hoop finish it and then get a frame from, is it Barton Frames? They do the circular frames that you can just slip a hoop into. I think they're really lovely. But yeah, this is obviously not the piece that I should be stitching this on. But anyway, I think this is all the called for colours. And I don't have a progress because it's just on, it's on paper. I could maybe figure it out, but I probably don't want to with this piece particularly. Let me look at the pattern without showing you. So maybe if I can just finish half, like the top half, by the pattern. I don't have a middle square. 150. It's half of 150. 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. So yeah, if I can finish like up to the bottom of the wing, so like a little quarter there and a bit, that would be fine. She is really cute. But it's hard to work because the margins are so tight to put it in a frame, in a Q-snap. So that's why I don't tend to pull it out that often, but I would like to finish it. So finish top half. And that just lives in a blue folder. I kind of have categories, but I'm going to need to reorganize those categories when I finish doing this. So last start of 2022 was October 1st, and this is Autumn Queen that again Amy and I started together for our birthdays that are in October, and we started it at the Floss Friends retreat in, where was it? I don't even know where we were. Whoa, I've got threads hanging all over the place. Okay, so this is, I don't have progress on this because it's a paper pattern, but it's 2/2 Dove Grey Linen, 32 count. This, did I say Autumn Queen by Mirabilia? That's where she is. Ah, she's so beautiful. So I'm stitching everything, back stitching as I go, and I'll go back and bead at the end. I did her face 1/1 based on a pattern somebody put on Reddit, I think, and it just charted her face and her hand and something else where the skin showed. So it's not, I didn't feel bad about, wasn't a complete rechart of the whole chart. It's just, you wouldn't be able to stitch it if you didn't have the rest of the chart. Anyway, let's have a look where we are. I've just got, I got the paper pattern. Let me not show you it. And it's all stuck together to like one big thing. I love pasteling. So maybe if I can get to, where are we so far? How tall is this? 286 stitches. Where have we got to so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So we're at like 90 stitches done. There or thereabouts. I want to get there. I want to get like to her waist or her hips where she sat down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 120. That's a good, because then her skirt starts at stitch 1, 2, 1. So finish. And it's a lot of stitches, but there's a lot of block colour as well, so that's fine. And probably more beads that I can leave out there. So finish first 120 stitches. And then it's less than half because the rest of the chart is like her massive skirt at the bottom. So proportionally, it's not halfway. But then I'll probably chop up that a little bit in another way. Anyway, that's fine. I like doing it this way where I can make plans now. So when I get it out, I know overall what my goal is for the year. And even if I don't finish it in that one sitting, I can know that I can put it away and come back to it later. This also sits in a Tracy bag, this like autumnal, I call this autumnal robins. It's not really autumnal, it's just, I have a Christmas robin one as well. So this is called autumnal robin for my autumn queen. Okay, that's all for my 2022 starts. I'm gonna take a little break because I need to refill my tea, but you probably won't notice that I'm gone. Okay, so on to 2023 starts. We go to March 26th, and I started Arcadia by Satsuma Street. I love this pattern. She doesn't say it in the pattern, but she does on her website that this is inspired by It's a Small World at Disneyland, California, Anaheim. And I used to work at Disney World in Florida, so I have a big affinity for Disney parks. And I did go to California while I worked there, so I got in for free. That was fun. But yeah, this is what I have so far. Now, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this one, because it calls for DMC light effects, which it's not nice to stitch with, basically. It's not. If you know, you know. So here are the 3 light effects. And you know what? I was gonna like find a petite treasure braid that I could sub for, but I've already done some. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet and get through it. So this is on some 32 count sky blue linen by Coffee Crafts. I got it when I was at the Floss Friends Stitch Retreat. It's with the called for DMC and DMC light effects, and the total stitch count, where have you gone? 9,587. And I've done 1,059. So I'm 11%, which I don't think is too bad. 90% to do. So maybe if I get to 20%. it's just a lot of block colour, which is fine. It's fine. And we'll just hold our breath when we stitch with the light effects. I think it will make it look nice. This is also one that I've got with my Kate Blanford floss drops that I absolutely love. I need more thread. It's gone very, very dark. It started to rain. Sorry if that's affected the light situation terribly, but we'll just get through it. So yeah, 20%. Can we do another 10% on that? Get to 20%. This lives in this little bag, Willow Crafts, can't remember, on Etsy. I was trying to find a substitute for my Tracy bags when Tracy gave up bag making, and I quite like this one. Next. Right, this is the one. You ready? Cabin in the Woods by Saki Girl started March 30th, 2023. This was one that had languished a lot. And then I picked it up for Stitch Finale 23. And I think I'm going to ditch it. I think I need to get rid of this one, which it's such a shame. I've done a lot. Where's this up to? I haven't even put the total stitch count in. It is a PDF, so I don't know why. I don't love it. I think it's I don't know why. I just need it needs a new home. So this is it's on the Cold For fabric, which is a Weeks Dye Works, which I don't use anymore, but I had bought it for the piece. And I bought the Mrs. Sadis silk pack. And stitching with Mrs. Sadis is just beautiful. If you haven't stitched with her before, it's just gorgeous. And it's such a shame that the first piece that I've stitched on is now a piece that I'm not going to stitch. So I would like to adopt this one out. The threads cost me £50, I think. So I would just like £50 for it. So you get my start. It's a 40 count linen. 1/1. Here's my start. It's a beautiful pattern. I really love it, but it's just not me with the stitching. It's full skeins of Mrs. Sadis, so some of these it won't even take one length of this, so you'll have some lovely silk to play with after as well. And she gives you like the the symbol that's used in the pattern, as well as the DMC equivalent. But also there's just beautiful variegated threads there. So this is the full pack for this pattern. I don't have the pattern because it's a PDF pattern, but you could pick up the PDF pattern, no problem. So yeah, if you'd like to adopt it, please let me know. I'd love for it to go to a lovely home, because it is really nice, but you know, you just have to make these decisions sometimes. And I've adopted things from other people, and it's so lovely to give it a new home. But yeah, I'm gonna UFO it. I'm happy. I'm happy about it because I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I don't do these things lightly. I don't think I go into a lot of stitching lightly, so to get rid of something is even more of a thought process for me, but I've been thinking about it for a few months now. I hadn't worked on it, and then I did it for my stitch finale and realised that yes, I need to let it go. I need someone else to love it for me, and that will make me happy. So we're UFOing Cabin in the Woods. I don't know how I do that on my Notion. I'm gonna have to figure that out, where I put it and what to do. But yeah, if you want it, leave a comment or message me on Instagram. This is the project bag that I will keep because it's my Tracy bag. Tia. My next start, this was April 21st, 2023. And Megan helped me get this one off the ground, because this one had been in my, I'd had the pattern for ages. I just needed a boost to go. I haven't stitched on it in a while, and me and Megan are kind of selling it together because she started it. This is Angel of Love by Lavender and Lace. And so this is my start. I am beading as I go because this beast is probably 50% beads. And yeah, I love it. This is gonna take years and years, and I'm okay with that. So this is on an even weave that I dyed myself, I think. Yeah. It's a 28 count even weave. I've just called it brown. They call for DMCs and Kryneks and beads. I haven't got a progress tracker on it because it is a paper pattern. But I love it. I can't wait to see this on my wall. But just the process of stitching on it is lovely. So a target for this one, let's see, have I got a pattern? I've got part of a pattern. I'll show you because we're not showing the whole thing, but I'm doing it like a 10 block section at a time and going all the way across. And you have to be strategic with it because I want to stitch all of the DMC. No, wait, I stitch all of the Krynek, then I stitch the DMC, then I put the beads in, because even though it calls for 28 count, the beads, the Mill Hill beads, are not perfect, so I'm going to have to wiggle around the beads and maybe omit some so they don't get too squished. So beads are the last thing that I do, but I do them like a row at a time. So I think maybe get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 rows. I think that's fine. Don't know where the actual pattern is. I've probably put it away somewhere. I'm going to say get to 50 rows because it was fine doing it like down here where there's not a lot, but then you get further down here and then there's all of this is like her main dress and this is her cape. So whether I say I'm going to do this side of the cape first, then this side, and then fill in with the dress, because the dress is where most of the beads are. I'll figure it out, but I'm going to say up to 50 stitches. Cool. It's really dark and I'm getting cold. And this is in this winter wonderland bag. I really love how she pattern matched that at the top. Really love that one. Megan, we need to sort out selling that. Or like actually stitching on it together at some point. Next one. This I need to finish. I don't even know how far along I am, but I know I need to finish it. This is Woodland Star by From Nancy's Needle. This is a needle counted canvas piece that I'm doing for my mum. I've done 2 for her already. In various shades of blue. That's her favorite color. So I started this May 28th. It's an 18 count mono canvas. If you've not done counted canvas before, you use a mono canvas and just like straight stitches basically. So it's a complete color conversion, because I think this was all like reds and greens, and I showed it to my mum and she didn't like it, but I said picture it in blue, and then it's just the pattern that comes out. Anyway, yeah, I don't have any kind of progress on it because it's hard, because it's not cross stitch. I need to finish this because then I need to frame all 3 of them the same. They're not all the same size, but I want to go get them framed the same time with the same frame, and then possibly give it to her for her birthday, which will be in August. So I think that's doable. It goes super quick because it's just fill-in stitch. It's like a satin stitch. If you've not done it before, really it's just remembering what colours I'm doing. But I think this is the outside, so I'm finished that bit. I just need to fill in the rest. Yeah, that's the end. So I can finish this. I can finish this pretty quickly. Oh, there's loads of starlings on there. On the Peter. Oh, that's the top. That's the other thing about counted canvas, is you need to keep it the right way around, otherwise you might get yourself into trouble. So yeah, I just need to finish this before. If I could finish it before Stitch North, that would be great. If I could finish it before the end of April. I might keep this one out and do some stitching on it while I have another week off work, and see how far I get. It's fairly easy. You just need a good TV show to watch while you're doing it. Finish by April. Let's see how we do. The next one I started, June 25th, 2023, Cinnamon Stars. This one, I love. I think this is like the substitute for Cabin in the Woods, the little house, but it's a bit more my style and with the stars and everything. So this is my teeny, it's not a teeny start, but it's the teeny version. So this is on 32 count Floba. It's a really weird, it's an even weave, but it's got slubs in it. It's really natural. But I'm doing it 1/1, 32 count. That's why it's so relatively tiny. I hesitate to say really tiny when Natty could put me to shame. So this is Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street Samplers. The total stitch count 4,727, and that's a revised stitch count. So if I put the picture up, I'm omitting the whole of the bottom with the fence and the pumpkins and the scarecrow, and just adding like 2 extra stars each side to kind of fill in the space. So it's literally just the house and stars, which is what I really love about it. And Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, she showed it recently what she did, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, thank you, Erin, for that. So 4,727 is the revised stitch count, and I'm at 25% here, which is a lot. It's going to be tiny, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, it's on the call. It's using the called for floss for the most part. I did sub, because it calls for a mix of Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, and I don't buy Weeks Dye Works anymore, but I had some in stash. So where I had it in stash, I pulled it just to use, and then where I didn't, I subbed it for something else. So, but it's basically the call for. So we're at 25%, so maybe we go for 50% on that. It's not a lot. It would be, what, another 1,200 stitches or something? Yeah, I could get to 50%. That just lives in a pink project bag. My next art is called Grand Melograno, Big Pomegranate, by Renato Parolin. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. But this is on a piece of 28 count raw linen banding that I got at the Knitting and Stitching show, that will fit on this little wall hanging thing. It's basically the only reason that I'm doing this, to find a piece, a pattern that would fit on this. So this is 1/1, so it would fit. And just look at those colours. Again, these are my Kate Blanford floss drops that I absolutely love. And love these colours. I don't think I have progress on this one, because again, it's a paper pattern, but the stitch count is 55 by 350, so it's tall and skinny. So maybe I could get to 50 stitches down. I don't know, it's a bit arbitrary with this one. But it is a beautiful pattern. Not a stitch count, but and that's in a green project bag. Next is Gingerbread House, that I also got at the Knitting and Stitching show. I started that on July 1st of this year. It was one of these ones that you know, you have it for so long and it's just sat in your drawer and you're like, why haven't I stitched it? So this is where I'm up to. I just stitched this one in hand, which is why it's got these clips to kind of keep things out of the way. The total stitch count on it is 8,594, and I'm at 13.7%. So it's like this long piece and it wraps around some plastic canvas, and then there's the roof bit that then folds in half along the top, and then there's a little porch bit. So there's lots of different pieces that go together, and then I have to build the thing, which is like a whole other scenario. But yeah, of the whole thing, I'm 13% done. So maybe I can get to 20%. I don't want to stretch too far on this one because it takes as long as it takes. It's a whole kit, so this is the floss that's from it, and I just keep it on this floss drop that I got from Innocent Bones, I think. It's an 18 count Ada that it's on as well, and some of it's like 1/1 and some of it's 2/1, and it's not the best chart in the world, but it's not the worst. But you do have to be careful. And stitching 1/1 and 18 count is just weird for me. But it gives it the look that it is. But I don't think I'll finish it by next Christmas, and that's okay. So get to 20%. Let's see how that goes. Next one is another chatelaine, a small chatelaine, relatively. This is Christmas Tree Mandala. I think that's the top. I started this on a whim, like literally. I saw Amy Pearls and Pondering. She's a very bad influence on me. She started it, and I had it. I knew I had the pattern in my stash. So I was like, I'll just start it with you. So it's not a huge start. Or maybe I did it this way. I don't know. It's a mandala. It's all going to end up the same, isn't it? I started in July 27th. It's just 80 by 80, so it's really tiny, but all of this like ironwork is really, really fiddly. You see I frogged a bit there where I messed up. So this is on 32 count Smoky Pearl. Call for DMCs, and then I think there's a few Mill Hills that I already have in stash, and there's just some bobbins. I should sub these out for Kate floss drops. I should do that. I'll write that down. Sub Kate floss drops. I don't have a progress for this, but what should we say? I can't even remember the full. I like blew up the center because that ironwork is so hard to follow. So maybe I just finish the ironwork, because once that's done, I think it's just a lot of cross stitching, some Jessica stitches or Algerian eyelets. Oh no, there's like a whole load of back stitching over the top. So I'll say finish center plus ironwork. Finish center plus ironwork. And then we'll see what happens there. Next one I started, which will be not a UFO, it'll be a restart. I started this August 3rd. This is Moonglow by Nora Corbett. I love this pattern. I thought I loved the fabric. Michelle Bendy Stitchy very kindly gifted it to me. She was having a clear out on her YouTube live for her patrons, so we all got a little something, and I thought this would be perfect for Moonglow, but it's just not the right color. It needs to be darker, because she's sat in the moonlight, so it needs to be a darker blue and more purple blue than green blue. Anyway, I just didn't. I started that moon and then I was like, I don't like this at all. So I just left it. So I've got all the called for silks. I've got a bit of DMC and the Mill Hill beads in there. And Elizabeth Savory Sewing and some others are doing Magic Moonglow Sal, something like that. There's like a Sal going on. There's been Sals of it before, but I looked at hers and I was like, yeah, I still want to do it, but I'm not happy with my start. So I'm gonna restart that, and I'm not mad about it. I'd rather restart it and love it than power through and not love it. So I'm going to have to rip that out because this is still a lovely fabric. This will still be lovely for something. So let me rip that out. I'll still keep all the stuff together because I will start it at some point. It'll end up a partially kitted and I need some fabric. So that was a 32 count linen, so I'll find a 32 count. And you know what? I'll probably find something at Stitch North. And that'll be fine. So I'm going to restart that. And it's just going to go back. It's not going to be a WIP. It's just going to go in my drawer as a partially kitted thing. And I've got a new empty project bag. We'll leave that over there. Next, this is Illuminations on the Wall by True Veil Stitch Kits. This is my Sycamore Gap piece. I started this on the day that somebody felled the Sycamore Gap tree. I'm still sad about it. I think I'll still be sad about it forever. I already had this pattern in stash. I bought it when she first released it as a PDF and I just hadn't started, and I was like, I need to start that immediately today as a, memorial piece. I love Jennifer's designing because she does these massive blocks of colour and I just like outline where it is and then fill it in. She says that she hasn't seen a lot of people do it that way, but she likes it. And I love this needle minder from Kate Blanford. Again, I love Kate. Very cute. So I'm doing it on a 36 count even weave 2/2. Because Jennifer designs it so it fits in a 5x7 frame if you do it on 18 count. But I prefer doing it over 2, so I chose 13 count. Even weave. It's all the call for colours. I do need, let me make a note to get some blanc because I didn't have any blanc. Add blanc. And then this progress, I'm up to 5% on this. So maybe I'll just get to 10%. That's not too much. And I'm not in a huge rush to get it finished. It'll just be a nice meditative piece. Oh, I do have blank. Why is that not in there? That's rude. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. I have to do some frogging because when I worked on this as part of my stitch finale, I couldn't find the key. I had to ask Jennifer to send me the key again. And while I was waiting, I was just like, oh, well, this is the lightest colour. The lightest colour that I have on my ring is 02 or something, the new grey from DMC. And then when I got the key, I realised that it should have been blanc. And I didn't have blanc, but it was hiding. Anyway, it's a long story that didn't need telling. Next, my next start was my model stitch that's not finished yet. Can't say anything about it. Don't know what to say about it. I've got it. This is my second in the 4, and I've got to finish all 4 by the end of May. I think I've got a lot of catching up to do. I have to do a lot of stitching on that. So all of these plans come after that as a priority. Anyway, next. This one is Chipping Sparrow Biscore Nest. This was a restart from, because I did it on the wrong count of fabric to start with. So yeah, this is 2/2 on 28 count even weave. I can't remember what's the top. I think that's the top. It's on this massive piece of fabric. It doesn't need to be on this big a piece of fabric. The stitch count total is 5,253. It's all the called for DMCs. And my total progress so far is 6.6%. This is the bottom part of the Biscore nest. So it's all full coverage and the front is full coverage. But the front full coverage includes lots of 1/1. So where it's 1/1, I've counted each stitch. So there's more. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if I can just maybe finish the back, that'll be good. And once I finish the back, it won't be at 50%. It'll be less than 50%. The way that I've calculated the stitches. Did that make sense? Not sure. I knew what I meant. Finish the back. That'll be fine. If you watched my Flossmas, you'll have seen I was talking about the chart on this and how it's not the friendliest of charts. And also it just leaves out non-stitches or just blank spaces. They don't give it a symbol and then say stitch all the blank spaces in X color, and it's just a bit weird. Anyway, it's in another little green pouch. And then my last one, second to last, you'll see in a minute. This was another restart, kind of a restart. I'm classing it as a restart. This is my second Renato Parolin piece on another piece of banding. This one's a bit wider and it will go on this hanger. So with it being a star, I wanted something a bit Christmassy related. So this is Noel Blanc, but I am changing the colours because the white didn't show up on this linen. So I'm changing all the white to red and all the red to yellow, gold, something like that. It took me a while to figure it out, but that's the new colour palette. So yeah, most of that, the effort in that was to find out the right colour. So do I have progress on that? I don't have a stitch count. So again, this is a tall, skinny one. 79 by 355. So what did I say for my big pomegranate? 50 stitches down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could finish the top. That takes me like the top garland. And then this is an easier pattern to break up because it's just each letter. So I'll say finish top garland. That's a good one. That was also a 28 count linen banding, and I'm doing it 1/1. So it's not going to be massive, even though it's a long stitch count down, but it's a lot of stitches. So that is technically all of my WIPs, but I did get some lovely thing in the post yesterday, which is technically a WIP. This is my 3rd piece for my first Most Magnificent Ink Circles round robin. This is Damask Square ink circles. To figure out, I think this is the top. I'm not too sure. Look at that fabric. I love how nothing that I've shown you in this WIP parade is like this. I'm so excited to work on this. So this is Rachel's piece, and this was on my wish list. So I get to stitch on it. So maybe that'll scratch the itch of me stitching on it and I won't stitch it for myself. But I'm so excited to play with this fabric. This is, Rachel has told us, 32 count Gio Ello by Be Stitch Me, probably saying that terribly, and then a Silks for You, which is, oh, it's gorgeous, gorgeous silk. Love this colour. I want to steal this. So not used Silks for You before, not used Be Stitch Me fabric before, so that's really fun. So even though I've technically not stitched on it yet, it is a WIP. And I'm very excited to stitch on it. You'll notice it's not the proper 4 quarters. Rachel has divided up the piece so we all get like a full thing to stitch rather than like half a motif. So that's really fun to do it that way. And yeah, look at all this that she'll have to play with when she gets it home. I'm very jealous. So yeah, need to stitch on that. I think March 31st is our deadline for that, but also for my next ink circles, which I haven't started yet. I'm not classing as a WIP because I need to find some fabric for it. But that should technically be a new year, new start, but it won't be for me. But yeah, that was a little bag that Rachel sent us to keep it easy for shipping, which is nice. That's a lot of WIPs. 23. No? How many? 13, 18, 19. Oh yeah, 23. 23 and I've UFO'd one, so 22. Oh, and we're going to restart one, so 21. So I came into this with 23, we're leaving with, I suppose, 24. We came in with 24, we're leaving with 22. So, my little trusty, I'm going to need to think about this. But what have we got? Moonglow is gone. And Cabin in the Woods, gone. I need to look about organizing this maybe into different categories, because I don't think these categories are working for me right now on the board, and then maybe look at some project bags, because I have my Anna project bag that's sat there that I want to use, and I want to choose a really nice project for it to go in. But yeah, other 2024 plans. I had said I was going to do the Modern Folk embroidery, the new 2024. I was going to start it. I've got too much to do, realistically, to do it. And I didn't have anything in stash. I did show you the silk that I chose and some 40 count Vidal, but it didn't work. I did a test stitch, it was too thick. And I don't want to start it when I know it's not going to work. So I'm just going to park it and JOMO joy of missing out on everybody else's lovely work and enjoy the stitching I've got, because I'm very lucky. I've got a lot of WIPs that I really love. But Quirky Quaker EPP WIP Go is a go. So there'll be lots of new starts. I was thinking when I did my finish parade, it's like, oh, 23 finishes in 2023. That's really good. I wonder if I could do 24 finishes. And then I realized that I've got like 50 Quirky Quakers on my Quirky Quaker WIP Go, so I should have more than 50 finishes next year. Don't want to say I don't want to count them as a finish, because they will be a finish, but there'll be lots and lots of tiny small finishes. So WIP Go has been pulled. I'm not starting it yet. I'm going to wait till New Year to do it. New Year's Day is Monday, and my mum will have Anna, and then Anna goes back to nursery. I don't go back to work until the next week, so I've got all of that week to do fun stuff. So 1st of January, I'll do my first Quirky Quaker. I'm so excited. I think, let me see, number 9 was called, which is Ladybug and Crab, and then 22 was called, which is Raccoon. So I've got 3 Quirky Quakers to do in January. I think that'll be fine. We'll see how this goes. I might regret my decisions, but I'm very excited. And my husband got me a tiny little iron for Christmas. He thought it was stupid, but it will actually be really helpful to iron all those little pieces of fabric and little Quirky Quakers and do my EPP. So it's absolutely fantastic. And I've got a little heat map as well. Heat mat. And I need to buy those patterns as well. So that's fun. Other plans for 2024. So if you use Notion, Nati sent us or has made available Swap and Sal Planner, which is really good because this is going to keep me on track for stuff like this. So I've got my Kit It Up swap. So I need to check in January 5th, and I'm all done for that. It's all packed, it's all ready to go. I just need to buy the postage. First most magnificent ink circles round robin. Finish Rachel's quarter on March 31st. Second most magnificent ink circles round robin. Finish my first quarter March 31st. And then Stitch for Pride 2024, and actually just looking at my phone just there, I think we've just got an email from Dee. Let's talk fabric and floss. Oh my goodness. Pattern dimensions, fabric, floss, very exciting. So that, as well as all my other plans, that'll be a stitch a month. For Stitch for Pride. So yeah, thanks for joining me on my WIP parade. I don't know how long this is going to be because I've got a lot to edit out. Hopefully not too long, hopefully not too boring. But thank you again for staying with me when there's a lot of other content out there. If you've got anything to say about my WIPs, let me know. If you'd like to adopt Cabin in the Woods, let me know. And I can't wait to see everybody else's plans as we go into the new year. It's so exciting. I will be back in the new year with a regular Flosstube rotation. And back to normal, because I'm in the Twixmas of I don't know what day it is and I don't know who I'm supposed to be. But I'm going to go and do some stitching, I think. Yeah. Okay, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Right, I'm going to go away and leave you to it.
Thank you.
No, I miss you. Don't leave me.
Or you could stay with me if you want. You can help.
I love you.
Bye.
I would just get in the way and I would fidget and you would know you.
You can sit off camera if you don't want to be on camera.
Because I would fidget and like, safely but.
I would like you to do one day, and then you can like say what you think about my stuff.
One day. We need to set a date for it and plan it. I mean.
Well, this would be a good one because it's all my stuff.
I appreciate the offer. But no thank you.
I love you.